Whether you're on scheme water in Western Australia, using mains water in South Australia, or Murray water, in fact in Victoria, New South Wales, or indeed using your own private bore water, the Alpha Group Leak Detection Unit is an advantage for you to understand whether you have leaks in your system, and in fact indeed if you actually have water coming out of your system. Released in 2011, the Alpha Group Leak Detection Unit has been of considerable benefit to all those who have utilised it. In fact, it has shown for some that their overall annual consumption, whilst being high, 20 to 40% of it has been comprised of leaks that they've been able to manage. Typically there are leaks of 250 to 500 litres an hour, which, at least in South Australia at $3.50 a kilolitre, can add up to anywhere between $8,000 to $16,000 a year in terms of leakage that can be saved by using the leak detection unit. It's a simple product to put on. It's highly well serviced by Alpha Group. There are text messages that come daily to report your total use and indeed the leaks per hour, if in fact there are any. Do yourself a favour, at least investigate the Alpha Group Leak Detection Unit as a solution to understanding whether in fact you have water leaks and to point you in the direction of being able to manage them.
So the system we've developed relies on taking pulse readings from SA water meters. So use your existing SA water meter, which is either an Elster type like this one here or an Actaris one here, and there's a few variations of this, but generally there's just the two types of the water meters. So essentially every time this meter clicks over a litre of water, it creates an electrical pulse. That pulse is then counted and collated in the back of the telemetry unit, which is mounted on the back of this leak detection unit. One of the key features of the leak detection unit that Alpha Group sells is the fact that every unit has a 5-watt solar panel and a high gain antenna. This means that we can have regular uploads of our data. Every 2 hours is what we set it for. So each of these units has a NextG SIM card, and that'll collect the data and send it every 2 hours. From the client's point of view, what they receive is every morning they'll receive a text message at about 7:15 in the morning. That text message will tell them exactly how much water they've used over the previous 24 hours. And also there's a period between about 2 and 6 o'clock in the morning when stock typically won't drink. So your usage should get down to 0 litres per hour if you haven't got any leaks. If that minimum reading that you receive is, for example, 100 litres per hour, you can quantify that you have a 100 litre per hour leak. Every client who has a leak detection unit also has a unique username and password, so they can log on to the internet and view their usage graphs. Typically most people will get their text message in the morning, and if it looks normal they'll carry on with their day as per normal. If the readings on their text message look a bit off, their minimum reading is a bit high or their total usage is a bit high, they can jump onto the internet and have a look at their usage graphs, and that will give them a quick snapshot as to what the problem may or may not be. One of the key advantages of the Alpha Group Leak Detection Unit is the fact that it's scalable. And what I mean by scalable is we can put a whole heap of accessories onto the unit. You can run 2 water meters off of the one unit. If one water meter is yours and the other one's the neighbour's, that data can be split at the back end, so you receive your data and the neighbour receives theirs. It gives you the advantage of being able to split the cost of the hardware. The units can also be hooked up with tank level sensors, pressure gauges, rain gauges, temperature humidity gauges, salinity meters, soil moisture probes and full weather stations.
Our annual SA water bill is approximately $120,000 to $140,000 a year. It's hard to know how much units have saved us, as now we know straight away if we have a leak, where previously that could have gone 2-3 days, 2 or 3 weeks, even two months. A lot of times we don't even know if we had a leak as if we had pressure loss at a trough or something, where now every morning, that's the first thing I look at. I think, you know, for the amount of money they would have paid for themselves, I believe, in tenfold. I can't see now we'd ever go back. As soon as we buy a property, it's the first thing we have done is have a unit put onto it.